The boardroom went dead silent as I clicked to the final slide of my presentation. The updated budget numbers glowed on the screen like a spotlight, and I watched as Karen's smug little smirk morphed into outright horror. Her French, manicured nails gripped the edge of the conference table like she was bracing for impact. Staring at the $50 hike in HOA fees, she gasped, "What is this?" Her voice rose with each syllable like a teakettle about to scream. "Who approved this outrageous increase? This is unacceptable." I straightened my tie and leaned back slightly, enjoying the moment I had orchestrated for weeks. "You did, Karen," I said, cool as ever. "The day you find me $1,000 for swimming in my own lake." Let's rewind. I'm David, and I've lived in Willow Creek Estates for 15 years. When I bought my home, it wasn't the colonial architecture or the 3-car garage that sold me, it was Crystal Lake, a stunning 20-acre lake that came with the deed. It borders the HOA community but sits largely on my land. For over a decade, the setup worked fine. I'd swim in the mornings, wave to neighbors, and even let the HOA use the shoreline for their summer cookouts. Then Karen became HOA president. You know the type. She arrived at her first board meeting in a color-coded power suit and a leather notebook packed with laminated tabs. Within a month, she'd issued 17 violation notices for everything from slightly crooked mailboxes to lawns that dared grow half an inch too tall. She actually walked around with a measuring ruler in her purse. The drama started on a sunny Saturday morning in June. I was floating on my back in the lake, watching the clouds pass overhead when I heard that shrill voice slicing through the peace. "Excuse me, sir." Karen stood at the shore in her HOA-issued blazer, yes, a blazer, in 90-degree heat, and brandished a clipboard like a sword. "You need to exit the water immediately." I swam a little closer. Cautiously, there was something in her eyes that said she'd try to arrest me with that clipboard. "Morning, Karen. Beautiful day, huh? Swimming is strictly prohibited in community water sources," she said, reading from her document like it was the Constitution. Regulation 7.3.9 clearly states recreational water use must be pre-approved and insured. I treaded water, confused. "This is my lake, Karen. I own it. Check the records." She lowered her sunglasses, the big, square kind that scream, "Let me speak to your manager," from across the street. The HOA governs all natural features that touch community property. This lake is partially on our boundary. Therefore, it falls under our jurisdiction. That's not how property law works. We'll see what the lawyers say, she snapped. "Consider this your official notice." I figured she'd look at the property maps and back off. I underestimated her ability to twist fiction into fact. The letter came on Monday, official HOA stationery. 3 full pages accusing me of unauthorized water use, with a fine for $1,000 and thinly veiled threats about legal action and safety violations, so I tried to be civil. I copied my deed, highlighted the lake ownership, dug up the original 1952 survey, the water rights documentation, and even a letter from the previous HOA president confirming my private access. I hand-delivered the packet to Karen. She opened the door in another blazer, this one hot pink. "David," she said flatly, "the fine stands. The board has spoken." "When did the board meet?" "Emergency session," she said with a smile that could sour milk. "We take safety issues very seriously." Turns out that emergency session was Karen and her 2 friends gossiping over lattes at Starbucks. After that, the letters came fast. One almost every day, each more aggressive. She filed complaints with the city, said I was creating a public nuisance, and even spread rumors I was opening a sketchy, unlicensed water park. That's when I shifted from defense to offense. I buried myself in 30 years of HOA records, policies, property easements, and there it was, the golden ticket. An easement agreement from 1998 gave the HOA limited access through my land for lake maintenance and events. It covered a gravel road and a small beach, and it expired in 2023 unless formally renewed. It was now 2024, no renewal, no legal access. I ran it past my lawyer. He actually laughed. So she fined you for swimming on your property while they've been trespassing for 6 months. He leaned back in his chair. This is going to be fun. I waited for the next HOA board meeting, Karen's favorite stage. She ran them like court proceedings, complete with a gavel she'd clearly ordered online. When my name came up during public comment, I stepped up with my own leather folder. Two could play this game. Thank you, Madam President. I began, formal and calm. I'm here to discuss the lapsed easement agreement between the HOA and my property. The room fell silent. Karen's hand froze mid-gavel. As of 6 months ago, I continued distributing copies. Your legal access to the northern shoreline and maintenance road has expired. I've tolerated the trespassing until now. Here are new lease terms. I paused for dramatic effect. $50,000 per year. Gasps. Someone dropped their coffee. $50,000. Karen shrieked. That's extortion. We've used that land for decades, without legal authority for half a year. I said, I had 3 realtors estimate market value. This is a discount. She looked ready to combust. I slid the agreement across the table. You have 30 days, or I install a gate. The next 3 weeks were delicious chaos. Word spread like wildfire. The same neighbors who believed Karen's stories were now furious, especially when their HOA dues went up to cover her mistake. Facebook exploded. Someone made a meme of Karen's face on the Titanic, holding her clipboard, captioned, "I'll never let go." At the next board meeting, longtime residents lined up to voice their anger. One retired teacher delivered a takedown so brutal it left Karen visibly shaken. By that evening, a recall petition was already making the rounds. It took less than a week to hit the signature threshold. I went for a swim the morning of the recall vote. As I floated in the lake, I spotted Karen's car in the parking lot. She was there early, handing out cookies and campaign flyers. By noon, the cookies were still on the table. By 6 p.m., she was out, removed from office by 87% of the vote, a neighborhood record. She stood up, clutching her clipboard like a shield. "This is a mistake," she said, voice cracking. "I was just trying to enforce standards. You'll regret this." Someone laughed in the back. Karen stormed out, ruler in hand, heels echoing like a final countdown. The new board sent me a letter the next week, full apology, plus a refund of the $1,000 fine with interest. They offered a revised lease, $500 a year, and a promise of respectful cooperation. I accepted immediately. To celebrate, I put up a new sign by my section of the lake. Big bold letters, private property swim free, smaller text underneath. HOA leadership not welcome. Last I heard, Karen moved 3 counties over, hoping to start fresh. I hope her new neighborhood doesn't have a lake. As for me, I still swim every morning, and when I float on my back, I think about that $50,000 slide, and how sometimes the best revenge is calm, quiet, and perfectly legal.